Hebrews 11 verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please God. But without faith, it is impossible to please God. You know, placing men in the place of God in our lives, or believing that after God, a certain individual in our lives is not healthy or helpful to our faith life. You know, what do I mean? You know, oftentimes we trust God for certain need, for certain thing, even though we pray to God concerning those things truly, even though we claim to have faith in God to make the supply of those things. But if we want to be truthful to ourselves, we realize that our mind has been in one direction. Deep within us, our mind has been focusing certain individual, because this is the person that God has always been using to help us. So our mind has been programmed that this is where help will come from. My brother and sister, having this kind of mindset will restrict the move of God in our lives. And what do I mean by this? You know, there are dimensions of God. There are ways of God. See, there are mysteries of God. Don't expect God to move today the same way He moved yesterday. God is not static. So focusing on individual, focusing on men, you know, will deprive you from experiencing different dimensions of God. So the only way to experience different ways of God in our lives is to allow God to remain God in our lives. Is to allow God to remain God in our lives. God has many individuals, many channels, many carriers for our help. But until we allow God to remain God in our lives, we are not going to experience these dimensions. We think it is only through one individual that God can help you. No. God has different dimensions. God has different ways. God has different channels of helping mankind. So allow God to remain God in your life. So this is the way you can help your faith life to be healthy. By focusing mainly on God. You know, Bible says that, you know, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. This is the only way you can help your faith life to be healthy. Focusing on God for your need. Focusing on God. Yes, God will raise men, will use men. He will not come down to do it. But yet, let your focus be on God alone. And you experience different ways, different dimensions of God. And God will raise many men, many channels for you. Remember, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Without faith, it is impossible to receive the help of God. Without faith, it is impossible to receive the things of God. So I encourage you today to boost up your faith in God. Focus mainly on Him. Focus only on Him, and will not let you down. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He said, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord that keepeth thee, He will not suffer nor sleep. For the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. No, the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. He shall preserve my soul, even forevermore. My help, my help, my help. All of my help cometh from the Lord. That is where our help comes from. And that is where our faith can be built up. Focusing only on God. God bless you. Stay blessed.